Hello and welcome to another episode of Kajabi in 5 minutes. Today I'm going to be talking about page organization and how you can move stuff around and control where things are in a section on your page. Mostly I'm going to be talking about text blocks or feature blocks, things like that. So when you're on your page editor, and this is for landing pages or website pages or funnel pages even, you have all of your blocks within a section. And when you first click on a block, you see at the top, there's those blue boxes that say width, and there's 1 to 12. Those things are kind of your go-to size constraint right off of the bat. If you go smaller, the box gets smaller. If you go bigger, the box gets bigger. And the way that Kajabi organizes your content on a section is they have rows, and each row is made of 12 blocks. And so if you have 4 text boxes on your section, and you want them to be beside each other or above each other or things like that, just be aware that the size of those blocks, there's 4 of them, saying they're 3 blocks each, then 3 times 4 is 12, they'll all fit on one row. And if you make one of those text boxes bigger, then Kajabi will add it up, and if it fits on one row with 12, it'll stay on one row, but if it doesn't fit with 12, it'll move down to the next row. And that's kind of the basic mechanics that you work with. Now, if you go into the desktop layout of that block, there's a button that says place on its own row. So you can actually take that piece of content and force it to be on a row all by itself. So that's also good to know. Now, sometimes you'll want to control the spacing a little bit more. And within the desktop layout and the mobile layout settings of each content block, there's inside spacing and outside spacing. The outside spacing is spacing or padding on the outside of the block. And so you can do up and down, side to side, and that's going to just push things around. You can do positive and negative. So if you're doing a spacing on the outside over here on this side and you do negative, it's actually going to suck the block over that way. If you do positive, it's going to push it that way. And the numbers that you put in there affect the row spacing, just like the blue width boxes do. So each of those boxes is 100. And so in the outside spacing, if you put 100 on the side, then that's effectively an empty block that you've kind of forced to the side of your content. And so that's how those things kind of add up. Now, on the inside spacing, you can control how much space it is from the outline frame around your content in before your content is there. So this can be useful if you've got a text box over top of a background banner image, and the text with the standard spacing of your section is just covering up things that make it hard to read. You can put spacing on the inside of that box to force the text over so that it doesn't cover up that image area. And that can be pretty useful. With the combination of the inside spacing and the outside spacing, you're able to position your content really well on Kajabi pages. Now, some of the things that you need to do with these specific metrics, the outside spacing and inside spacing, is bring content up to another layer. This is great if you want your image block to be overlaid with your text block. You can actually lay it all out, and Kajabi will have them on different rows, but then you can put something like -500 on the top of an outside spacing, and it'll bring that content right up onto the next row, overlapping stuff. It's pretty useful. It's a pretty functional way of managing where stuff is. It does take a little bit of time getting used to, though, to be thinking about things in like numbers and pushings and pullings on the outsides to position your stuff. So I'd recommend you take some time and go into a section that you've got a few pieces of content on and play around with the width block, box numbers, those blue boxes, adjust the inside and outside spacing, and just see what you can do and how you can get the image results or the visual design that you want with these mechanics. That's what I've got for you today. And next week, I'm going to be talking about a section area that you can control the spacing, all of things. Everything today has been focused on the content. Each piece of content has these settings, but within the section itself, there are other settings that can kind of be the backbone or backstop, the settings for how that section operates.